G'day, it's Jamie, and welcome to Where's My Yowie. Today I'm reading an old newspaper report about Yowies at the Devil's Hole in the Blue Mountains in 1902, so we'll get into it. This was published in the Bathurst Free Press and Mining Journal on Thursday the 19th of June 1902, titled Aboriginal Traditions, the Yahoo and Rock Dog by Bobdad the Shuite. Considerable interest is being taken in certain circles in Sydney in the early traditions of the Australian Aborigines. Some literary men are collecting all the information procurable on this question, which will be of great value in ethnological circles. Very recently, an expedition was sent out by the Government of South Australia or Scientific Association to travel through Australia as far as the Gulf of Carpentaria. The members associated with the Aboriginals in order to learn their legends and traditions, and at the same time to examine carefully into their manners and customs. These stories here appended are authentic and have been related to me both by the Aborigines themselves and also by others who can vouch for the truth. The Aborigines are a very superstitious race, and throughout there is an air of mystery and strangeness about them. At one time I thought there were no Aboriginals left in the Western District, but in this I was mistaken, for there are a few remnants of the Mulgoa and Burragarang tribes still in existence. The tradition the Aborigines have concerning the formation of the Blue Mountains and the valleys is remarkably strange. One of the older Aborigines has told me that the impression his tribe had was that a long time ago, two great men, while travelling together over these mountains, threw their boomerangs in the air. In the fall, they cut the gorges as we see them today. They were journeying towards the north and travelled on into the very cold country. To mark the end of their journey, they each drove the spears they were carrying into the ground. When doing this, the head of one spear broke off, and there the two stand to this day. These they describe as the North and South Poles. My informant also gave me some facts concerning the Yahoo. I cannot call to mind the Aboriginal name for this animal. The Yahoo, as we all know, is an animal said to resemble a man, only that his body is covered with long hair and his feet are turned backwards, the toes being where the heel should be. The Aborigines really believe that such an animal exists, and they are all afraid of it. My informant confidently believes that one is still living. He indeed offered to take me to the place where I could see it for myself. He says this strange creature is to be seen at the Devil's Hole, a point about 2 miles from Katoomba. He describes this particular Yahoo as being large and strong, and I will hand over my invitation to visit it to some of our returned soldiers who might like to exercise their curiosity while waiting for their discharge from the military authorities. A story is told by the Aborigines that on one occasion an Aboriginal caught a Yahoo woman and took her to wife. Children were born and reared, but after a time the tribe quarrelled over the strangers and killed both mother and children. Few, if any, of the white people have seen this animal, but its voice has been heard. On one occasion, a gentleman was out walking amongst the mountains and had been out on the narrow neck in the neighbourhood of the Devil's Hole. He was belated, and the shades of evening had set in before he left the secluded spot. After he reached home, he informed his friends that the Yahoo had followed him all the way home. He had not seen it, but he could hear it quite distinctly following behind him, and frequently heard the cry, "Yahoo, Yahoo." The effect of this night's experience was never forgotten by my friend, and I firmly believe that it was no fancy on his part. Another strange animal about which my informant spoke was the rock dog. This animal, he says, lives in a cave near to where the Yahoo is living. He spends the day in the cave, but wanders out at night time and is a dangerous beast to meet. He had never seen the beast, but had heard it barking at night time. It was described as being about as big as a good-sized cow, and its bark is like the roar of a lion. Away to the southward, in the wild country between Katoomba, Burragarang, Goulburn, Tuna and Oberon, on a high rocky mountain, there lives another race of men whom the Aboriginals described as people of the night. This name has been applied to them because they only go about only at night time. The Aboriginals as a race dread the night, and being so very superstitious, they fear to move about more than is absolutely necessary after darkness sets in. The older race of Aborigines knew exactly the locality of this mountain, but the younger members of the tribe have forgotten. The question naturally arises, are these mere idle fancies on the part of the Aboriginals, or are they dim shadows of past realities, lingering memories of past facts, distorted by distance worn and shape altered by the wear and tear of their progress down the stream bed of ages? I incline to believe that they are the latter. If we would let our imagination have free scope, then perhaps a very unsatisfactory, problematical, far-fetched solution might be haphazarded, and we might make the guess that the origin of the hairy man of our Aboriginal might be identical with the hairy man now living in Japan and fast becoming extinct there. Then again, may not the localities of these things have been in the land from whence the Aboriginals have come, and their fancies and fears may have assigned them fresh homes here. There is no doubt they had a knowledge of what we now call wireless telephony, and could and did transmit messages from one camp to another through miles of space. This gift was possessed by only a few. Again, others had the power to cure headaches by passing the hand over the head. I was first informed by a government surveyor of their ability to transact messages. My informant has since been confirmed, and in conversation with some Aboriginals recently, they further endorsed the statement. They say the power is not possessed by everyone to the same extent as messages, and they did not hear words but felt sensations or vibrations which they understood to indicate certain things. The sensations were felt in the muscles of the arm, at the back of the thighs, and about the ribs. We see these stories or fables, how superstition may be transmitted from one race to another and altered in the process of time to suit different sets of ideas. Take for instance the idea of the two spears, which is evidently based on the theory of the North and South Poles as accepted by white people. The end. Wow, that's a pretty amazing story. Just a couple of points there. They're saying that an Aboriginal caught a Yahoo woman and took her to be his wife and had children. to me, that is really interesting in the fact that that sort of proves that Yowies aren't apes, because there's no way that an ape and a human could breed. So Yowies are like more like man than ape, which I always suspected anyway. And then he talked about rock dogs, which I want to know what they are. Are they dogmen? Because they're saying it's the size of a good-sized cow and had a roar of a lion. I wish you had talked more about them. And then last thing, they mentioned the people of the night. Well, who are these people? I want to really, really find out more about them, because I'm wondering if that's part of the reason why the Aborigines dread the night so much. Anyway, that's it for me. I'll get back to you all next time. Bye.